Morning. I just thought I'd start this video by showing you what I've got going on in the greenhouse. It's the beginning of April. Well, it's getting on in April, second week in April anyway. I'm going to plant a lot more things soon, but at the minute I'll show you what we've got going on. I mean, there's not a lot to see, to be honest, because nothing much is coming up yet, but I'll just show you anyway out of interest. In these pots here, I have got calendula. And then I've got leeks in this tray here. Then behind, I've got all kinds going on in here. Lettuce, golden purslane, sunflowers, red spinach, orach, lettuce, and cucumber. Got a few little things sprouting there, some lettuce, and that's all. Across here, I think these are mainly flowers. One of them sprouting, a couple. I've got antirrhinums, zinnias, and feverfew. I'm not sure what that is that's sprouted. I suspect it's going to be the feverfew, but I'm not sure. Sort that out in a minute. And this one, sorry, that's tomatoes, but they haven't germinated yet. The onions, the tomatoes are slowest to germinate, I find. And come round on the other side, that's me 3 trees that I'm doing the experiment on to find out the best compost. Underneath, I've got some flower seedlings. These are coming on quite nicely. This tree, I've got sweet peas, antirrhinums at the back there, and gazania in the middle. I have no idea what gazania are, but they have germinated, so we'll find out in due course. And on this side, where's my labels gone? I've lost the labels. That's a bit of a disaster because I don't know what they are. I know they're flowers. Oh, hang on, there we go. Zinnia and butterfly peas. So I don't know, sadly, which is which. As you can see, I'm a super organised gardener. I know. And up at the top here, these are sweet peas. Just look like a completely pink variety. They're pretty different from normal sweet peas. Anyway, they're sprouting, they'll be nice. And that's some more lettuce there. And under here I've got all my ochre tubers. I planted them out a couple of weeks ago. I'll just let them sit under there. I'm not in any hurry at all for them to sprout up because they won't be going in the ground till about June. I think in the next day or so I'm going to start and plant. I want to put my squash in, and I want to put my beans in. I'm going to do runner beans and maybe my French beans. I'm not sure, maybe a bit later for them, but I want to get them done. But it's been so cold and horrible, I haven't wanted to be outside at all, even in the greenhouse. But time's getting on now, and I want to get that done, so that's next. Good morning. We've just been up to the allotment this morning to drop off some compost, some food scraps for the compost bin. It's my beans, my poor broad beans have been battered by the bitter winds that we've had. They're not looking very good at all. I don't think, we had a little bit of snow, but I don't think it's that, because we've had snow all through the winter and it didn't affect them then. I think it's the bitter winds that come across our allotment. Anyway, they're in a little bit of a sorry state. So I'm a bit disappointed about that. I think it's a bit late to be putting broad beans in. However, I'm going to get some other beans in today and get them into the greenhouse and start it off. So I've sorted out all my beans. I've got quite a lot of different varieties to plant. Some quite interesting ones, really. I've got White Lady runner bean, which I fancy trying. It won't have the beautiful scarlet blossom on that the other Scarlet Emperor one usually has, but I want to try that for a change. I've got edamame beans, which are soybeans. I don't know whether they'll work. It might be too cold up here, I'm not sure. We'll see. I have got Isabelle climbing French bean. I've got this one which I'm very interested in, even just because it looks so pretty. It's called an asparagus pea. Be interested if anybody's grown that before, they could let me know what it's like. I'm also interested in these look lovely. A dwarf runner bean called Jackpot, and tender crop dwarf French bean, and amethyst French bean, which is another dwarf one. I'm not sure why I bought so many dwarfs. I've also got really too many French beans. We grew quite a few French beans. Isn't that a bird? We grew a lot of French beans last year, and we've still got bags of them in the freezer, and you can put them in soups and casseroles and stuff, but they don't keep brilliantly. So I wanted to try and grow less of them this year, so I'll try and plant a few less. I'm going to use these toilet rolls for some of the beans. They tend to get a very long root on them because beans are climbers, so if you plant them in a short pot, the root tends to get all wound round. These are good because it means the bean can really stretch out, get nice and long there, and then get a nice long taproot going on. And plus with them, I can just pop them straight into the ground without taking them out of the container. That's all I've got of those though. I've got those as well. I'll probably put the dwarf ones in there because I kind of think that they won't have as long a root, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll get on, put some soil in these containers and crack on. I'm going to put these white lady runner beans in first. Now I have left my runner beans in from last year. Runner beans are perennials, but usually people just take them out, but I thought as an experiment this last year I would leave the plants in. I just cut them off at ground level. I'm still waiting for them to come up, so I don't know whether that's going to work or not. I didn't have that many, I didn't leave that many in, maybe 5 I think, just for one reason or another. So I'm just going to plant them all as if, as if I'm just thinking that these ones aren't going to come up. They might. Either way, they're lovely, aren't they? White beans. And they go about 1 centimetre deep on the edge. We've still got runner beans. We don't eat the green pod usually. We'll wait for it to fully mature and actually eat the beans themselves when they've dried out, put them in soups and stews, and we love them like that. The pods themselves can be a bit tough, can't they? So yeah, we usually eat the beans, and they're very easy to grow. So if you're new to it, to garden, to growing your own veg, just get them in. Don't be intimidated, because I certainly am. Sometimes some people seem to know so much and they're such good experts on all things, but the real truth is I'm a total novice at this, more or less, and I'm still eating veg that I grew last year, so anybody can do it. Right, how many have I got there? 4, 8, 12, 13. Always do more than you need, or you think you're going to need. 14, 15. Shall I leave it at that? I'll leave it at 15. And they should germinate in 7 to 14 days, hopefully. Oh, I better make sure I mark how far I've gone here before I cover them. Next thing I'm going to put in is some climbing French beans, Isabelle. As I say, I don't want to do too many because I've got 3 varieties. I think I'll just put maybe 4 of each in. Yeah. Bitterly cold this morning. I hope by the time you're watching this video that we're over this cold spell. It's been awful. Things are slow to germinate in the greenhouse, I've noticed. I think it's just because things are staying too cold. As I say, when we're up at the allotment this morning, I've just put some seedlings down, some spinach seedlings, and there's a few come up, but not very many, just too cold. These asparagus peas here, there's only 40 in the packet, so I've decided I'm just going to put them all in. I'm going to put them in these stumpier pots, and I think I'll do three per pot. I think I'm going to need to sort some more pots out. And if I could ever give anybody any advice, if I was professional enough of a gardener, what I would say is always sow way more than you think, because you're always going to lose some to pests or whatever, you know, they don't germinate, or your greenhouse is wrong, or it means you can give loads away if you want to, and you always have failures. And no matter how many I sow, I always seem to use virtually all of them. Shall I plant all these? It seems an awful lot. I'll maybe just leave it at that. So let's say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. That should be enough. That's it, that's the beans all sowed. Pop them in the greenhouse and hopefully get some nice germination soon. Well, it's bitterly cold even though it's a bright day, but I think I'll carry on after this and plant my squash seeds. I'll be dying to get them in. I've got a white squash, or like a kind of greyish white one that Charles Dowding recommended on one of his videos, so I'm going to try that. I'm quite excited about that one. I've got some Uchi-Gikuri. I'm going to crack on and do that, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for joining me while I planted all my beans. Bye now.